fifth actor to portray the Doctor was actor Peter Davison, who was in the role for 2 years, from 1982 to 1984, appearing in 69 separate episodes across 20 stories and ultimately just under 3 seasons, with his first one being the first part of Castrovalva on the 4th of January 1982, and his last story being the final part of The Case of Androzani on the 16th of March 1984. And as I said, he lasted from the beginning of season 19 to just before the end of season 21. Like with the previous Doctors, he did carry over a few companions from Tom Baker's era into his own, those being Adric, Nisartrak, and Antigone Javanka. But then he did also pick up two more along the way, those being Vizsla Turlo and Perry Brown. Some people would also say that Chameleon counts as a companion. I'm not entirely sure on that point, so I'll leave that one up to you to decide. Once again, Peter Davison's Doctor ended up encountering a load of monsters that we've seen in Doctor Who before, bringing back some of the classics such as the Master, the Cybermen, the Silurians, the Sea Devils, the Daleks, Davros, hell, even Omega. But surprisingly enough, while Davison did end up fighting a load of monsters of his own, none of them have really kind of made the jump through into the new era. I mean, we do get kind of hints of pteroleptils, for example, those the pteroleptils supposedly were one of the alien species to turn up around Trenzalore in 2013's Christmas special, but aside from that, they haven't really popped up on screen. And as I said, while we've got the classics like the Master, the Cybermen, the Silurians, the Daleks, we haven't really got any that were introduced in Davison's era that have carried over. But that's not to say Davison's era is bad, far from it. In fact, his last story, The Caves of Androzani, has actually been in the Guinness Book of Records as Doctor Who's most popular story. To which, I don't know how Peter Davison feels on this, but if I were him, I wouldn't entirely know how to react to this. Like, it's either a case of, yay, the most popular Doctor Who episode is one of mine, or the most popular Doctor Who episode is the one where I left. Thanks, guys. So yeah, I wouldn't know entirely how to feel about it. But it seems that Davison's not entirely done with it either. In 2007, he returned to the role briefly for the 2007 Children in Need mini-episode Time Crash, where he meets up with the 10th Doctor. Which, if you haven't seen it, I advise you check it out, because just seeing the two actors go kind of between each other on it, I think it's pretty nice. It's pretty funny to see. Just seeing how the 5th Doctor reacts to the 10th. It's just brilliant to watch. And also, he would also half return in 2013 for a weird kind of set of video called The Five-ish Doctors Reboots, where he teams up with the actors of the 6th Doctor and the 7th Doctor in order to try and work out something to do for the 50th anniversary. I'm not as big a fan of that one as I am of Time Crash, but you know what? Good for them. But as I said, he was in the role for just under, well, just over 3 years, and he did make some good episodes, some good stories. I mean, I'll admit I've at the moment only seen 4 of those: Black Orchid, the Five Doctors, Warriors of the Deep, which people proclaim is a very bad story, and yeah, I kind of agree, and his final story, The Case of Androzani, which people consider the best. But Davison was also around during the 20th anniversary of the show, which is why we got the 5 Doctors, him being the leading actor among those, alongside Richard Hundle, Patrick Troughton, and John Pertwee. So, you know what? Davison's era is definitely not to be ignored. I mean, he was, I think at the time, the youngest actor so far to portray the Doctor. That would all change when the 11th Doctor came along, but you know what? He's definitely got some good ones under his belt. I definitely advise going and checking out his stuff. Anyway, next we'll go on to the 6th Doctor. Oh boy. Anyway, until then, see ya.